A new champion was crowned on AEW Dynamite last night. We have an update on the contract status of an AEW original, and we have the reason why Stone Cold Steve Austin missed WrestleMania. Stay tuned for the news. It currently feels like Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs are a bit like the Chuckle Brothers, and I say that because they've been bouncing the TNT title from me to you.
To you. What a reboot that would be.
Imagine the Chuckle Brothers with John, do the Photoshop in it. Well, Wardlow on last night's AEW Dynamite beat Powerhouse Hobbs to win back his TNT championship. It was a good, big, meaty men.
Big, beefy boy battle.
Just you know, it was a big, it was quite nice. It was a good match. Go and check it out. But post-match, Christian Cage and Luchasaurus made sort of a statement by appearing at the top of the stage.
It's the classic, I want the belt, I'm just going to stand here and look at you type wrestling thing. I love it.
Favorite cutscene on 2K23 when that happens, when you've finished the title match and then someone comes out. But it looks like maybe Luchasaurus is going to be Wardlow's first challenge of his third TNT title run.
Looks like it. Just to touch back on the match, loved it. It was a big beefy boy battle full of shenanigans. We had Valleys jumping up on the apron. We had Arn Anderson doing a DDT. Penta was in the mix. Oh, it was great. But yeah, Luchasaurus and Wardlow. I think it feels like they're kind of positioning the TNT title as the big boy belt.
Yeah.
You know, or akin to how Progress have the Atlas Championship, where it's just for like the super heavyweights.
The big boys. I mean, we saw Samoa Joe had it recently.
Yeah.
It's that vibe recently. I mean, Darby Allin also had it, but he's less of a...
He was pre-big boy era.
He was pre-big boy, but Darby Allin could be in contention for another title in AEW. What was happening all last night, Tom?
Well, the four pillars were banging off one another, not in a rude way. We had Darby Allin, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and Sammy Guevara all spitting at one another, not literally, metaphorically.
Yeah.
It led to MJF coming out and announcing that him and his mate Tony had organised a Pillars tournament, a 4 Pillars tournament. So 2 of them will compete tonight. The one will get a bye, and they'll compete next week against the winner of the match from the night.
From last night.
Yes, Darby Allin's name came out of the hat. He got the night off whilst Jack Perry wrestled against Sammy Guevara, and MJF lured Sammy Guevara to his side with the promises of cash and even a little helping hand with a dynamite ring to the face of Perry, leading to a count-out win for Guevara. He'll face Darby Allin next week. The winner will face MJF at Double or Nothing.
Now, I'm kind of surprised that they're not doing the Fatal 4-Way. I thought the whole thing was setting up for a Fatal 4-Way match, the 4 pillars, the first time all 4 of them are being in the ring together. And it looks like, we're just going to get a singles match between a couple of them. Possibly.
There's a lot of storyline twists and turns that we can weave.
We've got how many weeks? It's the last weekend of May. We've got a whole month left.
Yeah.
But I've been really enjoying seeing the 4 pillars being used like this and sort of having a showcase. Like, it reminds me of Double or Nothing 2 years ago when it was Orange Cassidy and Pac that had the title match at Double or Nothing, where it was not your most obvious choice of the title contenders, but like Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, they're all guys that you're going, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I personally think it'll be Darby Allin that goes on to face him.
Yeah, it seems like that's the
I don't want
direction
him stuck in a JAS feud for the next few months again.
Adam Cole's got enough of his hands full with JAS.
Yeah.
Really, really good angle last night where Adam Cole got handcuffed to the ring by Jericho and his lads, and then it was Dr. Britt Baker who came to make the save, but naughty Saraya and the Outcast clattered her with a kendo stick as Adam Cole just had to watch in horror.
It's like Triple H being handcuffed with Randy Orton and
one of the most watched clips on WWE's YouTube channel is Randy Orton giving Stephanie McMahon an RKO and a kiss.
Great moment. Incredible moment.
Wrestling fans are weird.
But staying with AEW just a minute here, we've got an update on Adam Page, going from one Adam Cole to Adam Page here. As AEW are in the process of working towards a potential contract according to Fightful Select. So Adam Page signed with the company when it launched. He's been with them since day one. And you're not surprised to hear that maybe they want to keep him around.
Exactly. He was, as you say, one of the OGs that didn't become an EVP. However, very much. He was kind of the guy they were going to put the belt on immediately, but it didn't quite click straight away.
Yeah, he had that match with Jericho, and then it was like they wanted TV deals, so Jericho was more marketable. And he was the guy that for the first 2 years, it felt like AEW was building around. And unfortunately, last year, things got a little bit derailed in my mind.
A little bit, but he is not riding off into the sunset of AEW as Hangman Page. They're in the process of working towards a potential new deal. The sources telling Fightful Select that talks and negotiations only started fairly recently. No timetable on when, but I can't imagine him leaving.
I can't see it. I mean, he's been one of the other pillars of the company. Funny, we're talking about the 4 pillars there as well. There's a lot of pillars.
What are we, a salt factory?
No way. It's a stable house. That's what it is. They've got loads of pillars going on.
Is it though?
I can't see it. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. I can't see him leaving. WWE, I can imagine, would have interest in him. He's sort of a talent that is a big deal now, and he's gone from someone who people really didn't know the name of to like, oh, he's one of the best in the world, and any company would be lucky to have him. But so I can't see AEW wanting to get rid of him or letting him slip through the fingers.
Are you suggesting that he's gone from undesirable to undeniable?
I think he has, and then he went and actually made himself undisputed when he won that belt. Something that Cody Rhodes didn't do. He didn't do it at WrestleMania 39, and going from one thing that didn't happen at WrestleMania 39 to another. Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't there. He wasn't there. But there was a lot of speculation going into the event that Stone Cold actually might make an appearance. Obviously, last year he returned to the ring after 19 years. I still can't believe that actually happened. But he was speaking to Sports Illustrated. He said, I met with some people from WWE. We talked about the possibility of me wrestling at WrestleMania 39. The biggest thing in my mind was the presentation and what kind of match it was going to be. Going back to 38, the way the KO thing was presented, I love KO, he says. I turned that down 3, 4, 5 times until the creative finally came to what it ended up being. I didn't want it constructed as a real match per se. I needed something that could turn in at 1, and it did, but I think that's why we got away with it. The Dallas crowd was very receptive, and I hadn't been around, so the timing was right. And I think he's spot on there. The match in Dallas, in his home state, with Kevin Owens, was really the only way it could go. Like having this, won't he wrestle? Is it good? And then the pop. Well, he said, but to do a proper match, I'd have to be in off the chart shape, and I can vouch for that. I don't think either of us could do a proper match right now.
No, not in the slightest, young man.
We're not quite in Stone Cold shape, but he said, I told them, and this is the exact truth. I said, guys, I'm just fixing to go into production on this show. Stone Cold takes on America, and until we start production, I don't know what my life looks like. I can't commit. Sure enough, there were technical issues before we finished. I was supposed to finish a month before we did. There's no way, with the schedule I was doing, driving an RV all over God's creation, doing all I was doing, that I'd be ready. He further went on to said, I had 2 30-pound dumbbells, a 45-pound sandbag, and a 25-pound kettlebell, working 15 hours a day, then getting in a 30 and 40-minute workout that doesn't get you ready for WrestleMania, and I was really protected at WrestleMania 38. This time, that wasn't going to be the case. That was a true statement. Until the show was over, I couldn't commit, and it is a shame. I think a lot of people wanted to see Stone Cold back in the ring once again. If he did wrestle at this year's WrestleMania, who would it be?
So what WrestleMania? When you say this year's? Oh, so the one just gone.
Just gone.
I mean, I wouldn't even want to see him wrestle per se. Certainly a bit with LA Knight would have been great. Yeah. Like, I think there's no harm. I know there's something to be said for like, don't bring the old uns back to beat up the young uns. But you know what? No one's ever been harmed by getting a stunner from Austin.
It's true, yeah.
Except Vince McMahon. He looked awful after that.
He did look dreadful. It does get people over. I mean, just picture it, right? Miz is calling someone out, and out comes Shane McMahon, and out comes Stone Cold, and it's Shane versus Stone Cold, Miz special guest referee. That would have been the icing on the cake of that whole WrestleMania show. Mania. But it's interesting that he notes that. Maybe one day. It's interesting he notes that. He was thinking about it at least. Like he was like, look, guys, I'm working on this show. I don't think I've got the time. I don't think I've got the schedule. I'm not in the shape. Same excuse The Rock used, might I add.
And still is using.
Still using. At least Stone Cold. But it does leave the door open ever so slightly to Stone Cold possibly coming back and wrestling again. I think there's so many potential moments that can be created that he might have got the bug a little bit.
So we think we'll see him back.
I think we will. I think we will.
Get back over here, young man. All is forgiven.
Let us know in the comments below. Maybe he'll come and sell out St. James's Park whenever WWE decides to run it.
Get him in goal.
Yeah, get him on Rise on Saturday night. That'd be wild.
You wouldn't.
But
like
anyway,
that.
That's all we've got for video 1. We will be back later on today with more news. It's a big day. There's lots of stuff going on. So stay tuned to cultaholic.com for all the deets. Do that stuff.
What's a deet?
A deet. I don't know. It's what do the kids say. But anyway, see you later.